All right, listeners, strap yourselves in because we're diving headfirst into the belly of the beast with this one.
Oh, are we talking alien? Isolation?
You know it. Mission 18. Desperate measures. Even the title, right, sends shivers down my spine.
Yeah, it does have a certain ring to it, doesn't it?
You're telling me, okay, so picture this. Stranded on a space station, falling apart at the seams, and a xenomorph, just casually stalking you through the corridors.
It's another Tuesday, right?
Pretty much sums up Amanda Ripley's life, unfortunately. But seriously, what makes this mission, Mission 18, so pivotal in her story? And for those brave enough to step into her shoes, what should they be ready for?
Well, I think what's really interesting here is how Mission 18 kind of changes the game for Amanda. Up until this point, it's mostly been about reacting to the terror, just trying to stay one step ahead of the alien. But now she's got to flip the script. She has to take control. And you see that reflected in the mission objectives.
Okay, I'm seeing storing power, initiating docking procedures.
Yeah.
Sounds like standard sci-fi stuff, right?
Sure, on the surface, but look a little deeper.
Okay, I'm game. Walk me through it.
All right, so power. Think about it. Lifeblood of any space station, especially one as, well, let's say, delicate as Sevastopol. Restoring it isn't just about flicking a switch for Amanda, it's about grabbing a tiny little bit of control back from this insane situation.
Okay, I can see that, yeah.
And then there's the docking procedure. That little detail hints at a way out, It's like a tiny beacon of hope in this whole disaster. The game does a really good job using those seemingly basic objectives to ratchet up the tension. It makes your actions feel like they actually matter.
It's like the difference between, I don't know, hiding in the basement during a tornado and actually trying to, steer the thing away from your house.
Exactly.
Speaking of tools,
Well,
looks like Amanda's got her trusty security access tuner and motion tracker for this little adventure. Classic alien gear.
two sides of the same coin, those gadgets are. The tuner is all about that brain-bending puzzle aspect. Alien. Isolation nails, right? Deciphering systems, outsmarting the station itself. But that motion tracker, pure nightmare fuel. It's not just about knowing the alien's close by. It's the waiting, the anticipation. Every blip, every wave on that screen just cranks the tension up another notch.
I can practically hear that pulsing sound just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Amanda armed with her gadgets, but it looks like she's also going to be getting her hands dirty with some heavy machinery, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Initializing a docking clamp, extending something called a personnel umbilical, which just sounds terrifying. Any of this even remotely possible in a real-world space station, asking for a friend who may or may not be terrified of ending up like Amanda.
Let's just say the game takes some, shall we say, creative liberties. Docking clamps, those are real. Absolutely essential, connecting spacecraft, moving cargo, but a personnel umbilical.
Yeah, that's the one that threw me.
Bit more on the fictional side, probably their way of representing those, pressurized walkways or tunnels you see in sci-fi movies, used to get from one ship to another.
Ah, okay, I get it.
In reality, docking procedures, all about the equipment and cargo, no one's strolling through space for the fun of it.
So, less casual spacewalk, more mad dash through a potential death trap. Sounds about right for Alien. Isolation.
You got it. It's about grounding the scary stuff in just enough reality to make it hit even harder.
And speaking of scary stuff, things are about to take a turn for Amanda. Because she's just stumbled upon an alien nest.
Oh boy, that's not good.
And you know what that means, right?
Things are about to get messy. Very messy.
Understatement of the year. But seriously, what's the big deal with an alien nest? Why is it such a terrifying setting, both in the game and, just thinking about it in real life?
Think about it. What are nests? They're cramped, claustrophobic, full of weird passages, and who knows what else. It plays on that primal fear we all have, right? Of being trapped in the dark, surrounded by things we don't understand.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm already getting chills. But it's also a really smart move from a game design perspective, wouldn't you say?
You're right. Instead of giving you these big open corridors where you could, theoretically outrun the alien, the nest forces you to confront your fears head on.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Exactly. It's environmental storytelling at its finest.
So we've got Amanda stuck in this horrifying alien nest, right? Tension's thicker than space station atmosphere. What you gonna do?
Time for a daring escape, it seems like.
That's what I like to hear. According to our intel, we're talking transit car tracks, maintenance offices. Sounds pretty intense.
You know how there's something about industrial environments that's just inherently creepy?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like the developers took that feeling, the echoing metal, flickering lights, and dialed it up to 11.
And then there's the elevator shaft. It's like a horror movie staple at this point.
Right.
But throw in a xenomorph and, well, that's a whole new level of nope.
Right. Imagine. You're Amanda, crammed into this metal box, plunging into the depths of the station. The only light is flickering, casting these creepy shadows everywhere. And every little sound, every groan of the machinery could be the alien getting closer.
My heart rate just went up just imagining that. It's crazy how much the sound design can make or break a horror game, isn't it?
For sure. It's everything.
So we've got Amanda navigating these transit car tracks, ducking through maintenance offices. It's like she's using the station itself to try to escape.
Exactly. Remember those transit tracks we were talking about earlier? Those weren't built for people.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
They were meant for cargo equipment. Maybe the occasional unfortunate soul who got on the wrong side of the company.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So Amanda's basically turning the station's guts into her personal escape route.
Pretty much. Sneaking through service tunnels, maybe even hitching a ride on a cargo transporter too. It's like the whole station's her terrifying playground now.
That's one way to look at it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I kind of love that, that she's using everything at her disposal.
Totally. It's that classic alien isolation thing, using your environment, your wits. Because of brute force. Yeah, I'm not going to cut it against a xenomorph.
No kidding. Speaking of which, what's the deal with this whole elevator shaft escape? Does she just hit the down button and hope for the best?
Not quite. This is where the game's environmental storytelling really shines. We don't know exactly what Amanda has to do, but knowing this game...
Oh, it's not going to be easy.
Exactly. She's going to have to think on her feet. Maybe she needs to bypass the security lock, reroute some power, or even create a distraction.
Distract a xenomorph. That's like trying to distract a black hole.
And yet, that's the kind of choice Alien Isolation throws at you. Risk it all on a long shot. Or, well, you know the alternative.
Not great options either way.
But hey, that's survival horror for you, right?
Yeah.
So Amanda, being the total badass that she is, manages to pull through somehow.
She always does.
This escape sequence is really the climax of everything we've been talking about, you know?
Oh, I bet. Just picturing it, you're frantically trying to get those release mechanisms primed. That motion tracker is screaming at you. Talk about a nail biter.
You're telling me.
So she gets to the elevator shaft, makes this harrowing escape. But just when you think Amanda can finally breathe a sigh of relief, the mission throws a curveball.
Oh yeah, talks about leaving you hanging.
A cutscene ending, huh? Classic Alien. Isolation. But I'm guessing there's more to it than just a cheap thrill, right?
You know, it's like, yeah, they want to keep you in suspense, but it's also this really clever way to mess with your head a little.
Okay, I'm listening. How so?
Well, think about it. The mission ends, but not really. Amanda's safe for now, but there's this lingering feeling that it's not over. It's like, you know how sometimes the thought of something is scarier than the thing itself?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
It's like that. They're planting these seeds of doubt, you know, making you wonder what's coming next.
Sneaky. But effective. I can see that.
And it makes you think about Amanda's journey so far. She's come a long way from that scared engineer back in Mission 1. She's faced down this, unstoppable killing machine, used her brains and guts to survive, and literally blown her way out of a dying space station. That's got to do something to a person, right?
No kidding. If that doesn't change you, I don't know what will.
Exactly. So it makes you wonder, who is Amanda at this point? What's going through her head after all she's been through?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
We've been so caught up in the mechanics of it all, the objectives, the scares, that we haven't really stopped to think about the toll it's taking on her.
Right. It's easy to forget that she's not some kind of superhero. She's just an ordinary person thrust into this extraordinary and totally messed up situation.
And yet she's still going.
Exactly. And that's what makes Alien Isolation so brilliant. It's not just about jump scares and atmosphere, though it's got that in spades. It's about the human element. It's about resilience, about staring down your worst fears and finding a way to keep moving forward.
I've never thought about it like that before, but it's so true. It's what makes it stick with you long after you put the controller down,
100%. It's what elevates it from a great game to a truly unforgettable experience.
Well said. And on that note, I think we've just about reached the end of our deep dive into Alien, Isolation's Mission 18.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did. We talked objectives, we got a little technical with the whole docking procedure thing, and we even dove into the psychology of being hunted by a xenomorph.
Fun times. It's amazing what you can learn from just one mission, right? It's like a microcosm of the whole game.
Absolutely.
Huh.
But most importantly, I think we all gained a newfound appreciation for Amanda Ripley.
What a legend.
She's proof that even in the darkest corners of space, even when faced with the most terrifying creatures imaginable, the human spirit can endure. And that's a powerful message, no matter what galaxy you're from.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
But before we sign off, we want to hear from you. What do you think awaits Amanda on the other side of that cutscene? Hit us up in the comments. Let us know your theories, your fears, your wildest predictions. This deep dive may be over, but the conversation is far from finished. Until next time, stay curious and try not to let any xenomorphs into your air vents.